Good morning. Hey, yesterday you finished your pre writing for your narrative. So you should have the narrative kind of planned out, what the events are going to be, who your characters are going to be, where it's going to take place, all of the stuff that's on that pre writing. So that should be done. You also listened to my video explaining the different types of hooks that there are. Um, and then if you have printing capabilities, you printed them off and actually glued them into your ELA notebook. If not, we will do that when you get back to school. Um, so let's look at the different hooks that you can choose from because we're going to do an activity today where you identify the different types of hooks. And I'm going to give you examples of how different stories, the beginning of different stories, and you just need to identify what type of hook they used. Okay, so remember I put these two together, so they are the descriptive. Let me make that bigger. So one way is to use description. Okay, when you allow your reader to visualize what you are describing and allow them to be a part of your story, that will hook them. Okay. Another is dialogue. So if some certain dialogue between the characters um, gets your readers interested, and they're going to want to read more. Another one is a good question. Now, the question has to be one that they ponder. Ponder means to think about or to wonder. So it has to be a good question if you're going to use a question. Onomatopoeia, sound words, those can really hook your readers. And then an interesting fact or statistic. Now, that one, obviously, the one that I read to you yesterday, that was really a great fact and it really hooked. It would definitely hook me. Like I wanted to know more. So, if it is a good fact, then it will hook your readers. If it's a boring fact that has really nothing to do with your story, well, then it doesn't. So, all of these hooks, if they work with your story, will hook your reader. Okay, but it has to fit with the whatever story you are writing. Okay, um, so there's going to be a Google Classroom assignment, and let me show you what that is. It's going to look like this, and it says name that hook task cards. Okay, so I have 18 different task cards, and all you have to do is write down what hook they use. Okay, so let's do this first one together. Every boy knows things about his father more private than the skin behind his ears. I know that my father likes the taste of words. He'll use 15 words to say something another man could say in three, and fancy words taste better than plain. Okay, so what type of hook did this author use? Oh, whoops, sorry. By the way, it's from It's Only Goodbye by Virginia T. Gross. So these are actual books, these are actual authors. Did they do a description? Did they do dialogue? Now, dialogue is easy to find because you look for the quotation marks. Well, there's definitely no dialogue. Did they do a question? That's easy to determine. Is there a question mark? Nope, no question. Onomatopoeia, that one's easy to figure out. Do they have the sound words? Nope, no sound words. So I know that it's not these three. So it's either a description or it's an interesting fact. Um, when I look at this, I look at it as an interesting fact because it says every boy knows things about his father more private than the skin behind his ears. So it's saying that boys know private things about their father. And then he goes on to say the facts about his father. It says, and fancy words taste better than plain. So he's saying that that his father likes to use a lot of words to say something, and he likes to use fancy words. I can see where some of you might have thought description, but and it's not it wouldn't be horrible, okay? Like, there's not, like, just one right answer. If you can, explain it to me, then that's fine, but for me, this one is more of a an interesting fact. So I'm just gonna go down here to number 1 because it says number 1 here, so I'm gonna go here to number 1, and I'm just gonna write interesting, oops, fact. That's all I have to do, okay? Um, on each slide, I give you the place to write the answers and I list your choices so that you should be able to spell them correctly and you're not going to forget, especially the onomatopoeia, because that's a tough one to spell. All right, let's do number 2 together. So then you have less to do on your own. This is an I survived one, The Destruction of Pompeii, AD 79 by Lauren Tarshish. Okay, within hours, thousands of people would be dead. The entire city of Pompeii would vanish under more than 30 feet of fiery ash and stone. What hook did she use? Well, once again, we know it's not dialogue, we know it's not a question, and we know that there's no sound words, so it's not onomatopoeia. So we need to decide, is this a description or is this an interesting fact? To me, once again, she's giving a fact. She's saying, because this is a true story, right? The destruction of Pompeii actually happened. So within hours, thousands of people would be dead. The entire city of Pompeii would vanish under more than 30 feet of fiery ash and stone. That is a fact, and it's an interesting one. Okay. So actually, number 1 and 2 are interesting facts. So I just write interesting fact. Okay. So now you do the rest of them and then listen carefully. When you are finished identifying your hooks here, then you are going to write the hook for your own story. On Google Classroom, there will be an assignment called narrative. Go to that assignment after you're done with this one, and you need to create a doc just like you did for the descriptive paragraph. So go into that assignment, and then at the right, it will say create. I think it just says create. So you push create and then scroll down until you see document and hit doc. Okay, just like you did when you wrote your autumn descriptive paragraph. Okay. And then begin writing your hook. Now, today, the only thing I want you to work on is your hook, um, and have fun with it. So, first, do this assignment and determine what the hooks are, and then begin your own hook. If you don't finish the hook today, that's okay because on Monday's virtual assignment, it's going to be finish your hook and then continue working on your narrative. And all next week, that's what you're going to be doing is working on your narrative. So just keep working at it, and we'll see you when you come back. Have a good day.